I'm not going to CB radio.
Did you call to order? Call to order real quick.
Sorry. I'm going to call this public meeting, May 19th, 2021, Town of Cedar Lake Planning Commission to order. Please stand, pledge to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we got through that.
Barely, but we did.
And
Kernahan.
you want to say what?
John Foreman.
Present.
Have nothing.
Richard Sharp.
Here.
Heather DeSauer. Here. Chuck Becker.
Here.
Don Capora.
Present.
Jerry Wilkening.
Here.
Don Oliphant.
Close enough. Here.
Sorry, I knew I was going to touch that. David Austin.
Present.
Jill Murr. Present. Margaret Abernathy, present.
Okay. April 21st, 2021, public meeting minutes, May 5th, 2021, special work session, and May 5th, 2021, work session. These are 3 minutes. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve these, or any questions on any of three of these?
Commission, if I can ask for
Yes.
deferral on all of those, please, as we transition our recording secretary.
Oh,
Margaret,
okay.
if I may introduce her, Margaret Abernathy will be our recording secretary pro tem.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Okay.
Thank
You don't mean that.
Does pro tem mean like temporary, like it sounds?
Like it sounds.
All right, would anyone like to make a we need a motion to do that?
I make a motion to defer those minutes.
We got a motion. We got a motion by Mr. Sharp to defer the minutes, and second by Mr. Becker. Roll call, please.
Robert Kernahan.
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
Heather DeSauer, sorry.
DeSauer, it's okay, yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
John Capora.
Yes.
Jerry Wilkening.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Public meeting, item number 1, Beacon Point of Cedar Lake LLC, Unit 5, final plat. Owner petitioner Beacon Point of Cedar Lake LLC, vicinity 13800 Parish Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Petitioner is requesting a final plat. State your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Kevin Hunt from Schilling Development, representing Beacon Point of Cedar Lake. Is up today. We are requesting final plat on Unit 5 of Beacon Point. That's the single-family portion west of Parish.
All right. Don, any outstanding issues?
No, the plat's in order. For the final plat, I have some inspection and letter of credit numbers for you. The 3% inspection fee would be $25,540.29. The reduced performance letter of credit would be $259,330.23, and then the $2,000 MS4 inspection fee.
All right. Any building department comments?
In your packet is a draft of the letter of credit identifying the amount that Don had just read off to you, as well as they are ready to present the check for the 3% inspection fee and the MS4 fee.
All right. Does anybody on the commission have any thoughts or comments, questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, nothing.
Mr. Roshan?
Good.
Any comments, questions?
Good.
You're good? Okay. I guess the motion should reference everything Don just said. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding this item?
I'll make a motion that we approve the final plat request for the Beacon Point Unit 5 final plan for the numbers for the letter of credits that town engineer read earlier.
A motion by Mr. Kapoor. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Chuck Becker. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan.
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
Heather DeSauer.
Yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
John Capora.
Yes.
Jerry Wilkening.
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
People's Bank.
All right. Item number 2, Centennial Estates, Phase 1, final plat. Owner petitioner Cedar Lake Development LLC, vicinity 13830 Parish Avenue. Petitioner is requesting a final plat, Phase 1, 28 lots and 2 outlots. Good evening.
Jeff Yatska with Old Tough Homes, 8051 Wicker Avenue, St. John. That's correct, we're looking for final plat on Centennial Estates Phase 1, 28 lots and 2 outlots.
All right. Don?
Real similar. Plat is in order. The 3% fee would be $32,170.53. The reduced performance letter of credit will be $284,711.71, and then the $2,000 MS4 inspection fee.
Okay. Mr. Austin? Nothing? Any of the commissioners have any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Building department?
No additional
Thoughts, comments? Okay. Thank you. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the Phase 1, 28 lots and 2 outlots? Of course, to include the 3 numbers that Don has recited to us.
I'll make that motion to, approve the final plat, Phase 1, 28 lots and 2 outlots, per the numbers that town engineer read for the letters of credit.
We have a motion by Mr. Capora. Do we have a second?
Second. I'll second.
Second by Mr. Sharp. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan.
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
Heather DeSauer.
Yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
John Capora.
Yes.
Jerry Wilkening.
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks. Okay. Item 3, Dust preliminary plat, 1 lot subdivision, and waiver request. Owner petitioner is Darrell and Denise Dust. The vicinity is 13225 Colfax Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Preliminary plat, 1 lot subdivision and waivers, and final plat, 1 lot subdivision. Petitioner is requesting preliminary plat for 1 lot subdivision and waivers. Mr. Austin, are the legals in order for this?
They are.
Okay,
Public hearing may commence.
thank you. Hello, petitioner.
Yep, Darrell Dust, 13225 Colfax Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Here to petition for, but there's been a change that Don has made to my surveyor as of today,
Okay,
and wanted something changed on it, and I do have a little problem with where the property line, where they wanna move it to.
is this the property line on the east side of the house or the street?
The street.
Okay, all right. Okay. Anything from the building department right at this time?
Not at this time.
Okay.
I'll let Don report.
Okay.
On the discussion.
All right.
After the discussion.
Don, provide us all with some clarification, please.
So,
Don,
excuse
before
me.
you talk, I'd like to state that I did get a hold of Don, and he got a hold of your surveyor.
Yes.
Yeah.
but,
Okay.
We spoke. We initially requested basically a 20-foot right-of-way dedication to match up with the Obadiah Taylor addition to the north. And then it would essentially would have increased to 25 as it goes down. They presented a 10 and then kind of angling down to 20 at 133rd. That would have given us about 18 inches between the edge of pavement to the right-of-way dedication line. So we kinda came back and compromised in between, which is a 15 and a 20. Once they get past the house, that still keeps the existing well outside of the right of way, but gives us a little more room to work if we ever improve the street. So that was our recommendation.
So I'm looking at the drawing, one-story frame residence.
Right.
Don, so you're
there's-
saying.
There's a markup in your packet on the back end of our letter that would represent what I'm talking about
Alright,
and what they
let me go to
submitted, resubmitted.
Is that page 28 by chance?
Maybe?
Yeah, it's 20, no, it's 30, right? Surveyor's response using exhibits. I went to the site and surveyed the corners. The bearings and distance shown on this.
28,
28?
one up from there.
Alright. Oh, okay. So coming in off of 133rd, you're saying it's
That's
20 feet?
And they essentially set basically a property corner just north of their future driveway to the proposed garage, and
Uh-huh.
then angled it, and then went up from there, and it becomes a 10-foot dedication from
What-
close to center line.
Is it not their land today? Is it really a road by Cedar Lake, or if you
They
click on it?
technically own to that
So-
line, a little past center line to the west. I mean, there's
The
a
bla-
debate if it's
the-
prescribed right away.
The black line?
No, it's that thin line on the west side of the road there.
Okay,
Just under Colfax Street, the label.
Gotcha.
Running north. That's the current property line.
okay, so they today own to that,
Yes.
and their new drawing shows that they gave up the 10 feet?
10 expanding to 20 after it hits that one iron rod just southwest of the residence.
Oh, I see,
Right there. And then it angles down to 20.
gotcha. And the purpose for, you're saying, you thought the purpose for them wanting to angle it was what again, their wells right there?
Yes, they wanted to keep the well within the, outside of the right of way. So even an additional
Makes
5
sense.
feet still keeps the well on their property by 2.76 feet.
If I might add though, those rocks that are in front of that well alongside the road are 600 pounds each. If I have to move those back to where that line is, there's no way I can mow that side of the yard.
We're not requesting that.
All right,
It's
I
just,
just thought,
it's if the road ever becomes improved,
Okay, there
we'll
you
need
go.
room to work in.
if you do that, then it would have to be moved.
Well, if
And
that
that's
was the
what I'm
case,
trying
we
to
would
get to.
move it with our construction.
I think a little background here, this is existing non-conforming piece of property, and the well is out by the road.
Yes.
And with these improvements, stop me anytime I'm wrong, these improvements, we're trying to massage some more space there and still stay away from the well.
Yes.
That's
Right.
that's the request. So it looks like we've done some of that. Is there any questions about the property line on the east side of the property?
That was
'Cause that was
corrected.
the last thing I had heard.
That was corrected by the surveyor, going through our last round of comments.
So the east property line is all
East
good?
line's set, yeah.
Everything's good, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
are you okay with what Don has said in the event, in the future, anything needed moved, that the town would move it, or what's your opinion, Darryl?
I'm not too confident in the town's construction right now.
Okay,
When they repaved that road, recapped it, no one surveyed it, no one checked it before they did it. Just put a cap on it.
it was a Band-Aid. Yeah.
Right, and it was a bad mistake.
Okay,
Cleaning the machinery out in my yard was the second mistake.
uh-huh,
I just cleaned it up myself, I just got tired of it. But what I'm thinking is the way they wanna drop back on the 15th and then go just south just north of my driveway and pull 20. Now, if they went on the other side of my driveway and pulled that 20, I wouldn't mind that.
I'm okay with that.
That would be fine with me.
Okay.
But that 15 is just a little edge. I mean, if we can get a 12-foot variance, or right away, I don't think I'm asking too much. I don't know if I'm pushing it too much, or,
I mean, the truth is, Don, why does it have to change? Why can't it stay angled? I understand your recommendation, but what is your theory behind it?
Typically, if you do a jog, it's a 90-degree jog. It's just easier.
Okay,
That's an engineering rule of thumb?
Yeah, I mean, we can go, I mean, I don't think the angle is the problem.
okay,
I mean, we can move what we call kind of a tangent point south of your driveway, that's fine. That doesn't
Right.
bother me.
That I don't have a problem with.
But I would rather keep it 15 than 20. We just move the jog south of you. Are you okay with that?
So the jog would, south of his driveway, would
I mean, he
be,
doesn't
would be
even
how,
need to,
would be
we
how
don't
much?
even need to do a jog. We can do an angle from that point, that's fine.
Okay.
From which point,
Well,
Don? Could
if-
you?
So essentially,
If
From
we're
the
gonna-
south of the driveway,
From
then
right south
angle.
of the driveway,
Correct.
this
Yeah.
angle would start right there.
Okay.
so that point would be here. We connect that 15 down to it, and then it starts angling out from there.
Okay.
You can come up here and look at it.
All right, I'm
My
more
drawing's not
concerned
great.
about the angle here, if they went back.
So there would not be a jog on the north side of his driveway, Don?
No.
Like 15.
You mean
We would
correct.
essentially move that turning point south of his driveway. That's where a pin would be. And then it
South,
would
so
come down.
south of his driveway, it would jog east, how far?
It would be angled from there. He wouldn't, he'd take the jog out. So if you look at, if we're all reading where the two arrows, there's an
Right,
arrow on
the
the
jog
left
here,
and an
right.
arrow on the right, and it says 20 feet where the jog is.
Yeah.
Move that straight to the south side of his driveway is what Don's saying, and keep the angle starting right there. And he's okay with that.
I have to move that, I can't mow my grass because of all this.
This is all lot one though, right?
Well, wrong, yeah.
Yes. It'd also be lot one, it's one lot. Do you know that?
So what is that, Don, 30 feet? Move if the driveway is 28 feet, what is that, another
35 feet.
35, approximately 35 feet?
Yeah. I think you have rocks up and down your frontage pretty much, right? Not just in front of your house, right?
Yeah, just sparsely down the end,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal.
The rocks that he's talking about are.
That is just,
existing
the reason those rocks are there, those big rocks, all I need is a winter time and some dump truck or garbage truck moves over and knocks that well out.
Yeah, we're not requesting you to move them.
Right, but I'm saying, if you ever improve it, then what, where am I stuck at?
Likely, the road won't expand a whole lot. It's just the fact that we do need some room to work some of the time, so your rocks likely wouldn't move,
Okay, I get you,
so.
right, no, that's the information I didn't have,
Yeah.
you know.
You've been there long enough to see.
But he's already
The
giving us
extent of the progress.
15 feet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
have.
unofficially.
and that gets you like 7 feet outside of that back edge of pavement, so we can actually work.
We just have to sharpen
I
some of
see,
these
yeah.
things up and get them dialed in as close as we can.
Yeah,
And I know there's plenty of history with
Also
all of
that.
this, but that's not what
But
is
you're
here
okay
right
with
now.
that being moved to the south?
Fine.
Okay.
We'll pull it all the way south.
So the 20-foot offset's gonna get moved to the south of the driveway?
Yeah, so we'll come 15, that red line will come all the way down past his driveway. And then we'll set another pin and then connect the dot all the way down. We won't come back out, we'll just diagonal it down.
Okay.
And I'll get together through surveyor and let him know what's going on and he
Okay.
can figure it out.
Okay. Building department, any comments?
One comment, this item will be coming before your BZA for his proposed building, of the size of accessory structures and the setback for his existing house to make it conforming. That needed to be set after we do this
Okay.
item,
right.
so that, I anticipate that coming to your June BZA meeting.
All right. Mr. Austin? Good?
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds like you're engineering here.
Yeah, well, we're engineering, the 11th hour,
It sounds like.
so. All right, Mr. Becker, you have any questions?
Oh crap, sorry, I
No,
muted him.
That's right. I guess I'll jump to, have a seat real quick, Darrell, I'll ask about any remonstrators. Do we have any remonstrators for this item?
He's off
Doug?
mute again, he's off mute.
No.
No.
No remonstrators online?
No
No,
remonst, yeah,
Okay.
no,
Chuck.
okay. Chuck's good, Chuck checked in, okay.
I'm good.
Come on back up, Mr. Dust.
He'd make you get exercise.
I just, yeah, it's the way it is. Okay, do the commissioners have any questions, comments,
Sure.
concerns?
Sounds good, Chuck.
No? Okay,
My only comment is, Mr. Dusty, you're not building your garage big enough. You'll fill it up.
Oh, might not be, who knows? wife won't let me go any bigger, so
There you go.
I gotta deal with what I got.
Yep,
That's right.
absolutely.
Okay. If there's no questions, would anyone like to make a motion? Oh, what are the waivers?
Oh, yeah, waivers,
Waivers go first.
I think I have all the waivers.
You got all the
Yeah.
waivers?
There's,
All right.
sidewalks, curbing, front setback, road improvement.
park
Waivers.
dedication, tree placement, stormwater
Ooh,
retention.
I don't have all the waivers.
Here, right here. Yeah.
E through whatever.
Okay.
A through E.
That's the simplest way to say it.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Would you like to make a motion, Mr. Foreman?
I'd like to make a motion.
On the waivers first.
Absolutely. I'd like to make a motion on the waivers for the Dust preliminary plat, the one-lot subdivision. As noted on the May 19th, 2021, Christopher Burke Engineering letter, item number 1, stormwater detention, widening and improvements of the public roadway frontage, as discussed in tonight's meeting, to start south of the driveway with a new pin. Isn't that that?
No.
Okay, then scratch that from the record. Widening of the improvements of the public roadway frontage, park dedication, tree placement requirements, fronting sidewalk requirements.
I appreciate your thoroughness, John.
You
We
betcha.
have a motion by Mr. Foreman. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Becker. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan,
Yes.
John Foreman,
Yes.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
Heather Dessauer,
Yes.
Chuck Becker,
Yes.
John Capura,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Dust.
No?
Nope.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Primary
Oh,
plat.
yes, primary plat. Would anyone like to make a motion for the preliminary plat for a one-lot subdivision and a final plat for a one-lot subdivision?
So moved.
Mr. President.
Hang on, Chuck.
Only one at a time.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion for the preliminary plat for a one-lot subdivision?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Dessauer.
I would recommend it's contingent on the discussion we just had regarding changes to the plat.
Contingent on the new discussion of changing the sketch on the plat.
And the approval of the BZA to
Yeah.
BZA application.
And what, I'm sorry?
And the BZA petition to be filed,
It's contingent on BZA approval
BZA approval.
of
And contingent on
variances.
BZA approval.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Mrs. Dessauer, second by Mr. Capora. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan,
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Richard Sharp,
Yes.
Heather Dessauer,
Yes.
Chuck Becker,
Yes.
John Capura,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries. Would anyone like to make a motion on the final plat for a one-lot subdivision for 13225 Colfax Street?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
subject to the 30-day waiting period.
Subject to the 30-day waiting period.
I'd like to make a motion, to approve final plat for the one-lot subdivision, subject to the 30-day waiting period,
That's also contingent on
with the
BZA
same contingencies of the BZA approval, as
and the letter.
well as the, items discussed earlier with the, waivers,
And the letter.
and the letter marked, May 19th, 2021, or dated.
There's a small change on the file plat.
Okay,
you.
we have
It's just a wording thing.
I'll second it.
we have a motion by Mr. Foreman, second by Mr. Capora. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan.
Yes.
John Foreman,
Yes.
Richard Sharp,
Yes.
Heather Dessauer,
Yes.
Chuck Becker,
Yes.
John Capura,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Now we're good.
Thank you.
You didn't know it was so much work to build a garage, did you? I did what you were doing 18, 19 years ago, and I was like, what? You're kidding me. A plat? What's that? You know? Yeah, it's new, old Cedar Lake. That's the problem.
You have a giant garage in?
On the side of the hill.
I kinda like the layout of it.
Hmm?
It's good. Yeah.
How big's the upstairs?
Okay, item number 4. Thorne preliminary plat, one lot subdivision. Owner petitioner James and Pamela Thorne. Vicinity is 12608 Alexander Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. The request is for a preliminary plat for one lot subdivision and waivers, and a final plat for a one lot subdivision. Petitioner is requesting preliminary one lot subdivision and waivers. Hello, Mr. Thorne.
Okay, I'm James Thorne, live at 16320 Fulton Street, Lowell, Indiana.
Legals are in
Yes.
order.
I was gonna say, confirm legals for the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
Legals are in order?
Legals are in order.
Legals are in order, okay. Do you have anything? I mean, other than what you're requesting? Okay.
Nothing other than I
Okay.
wanna get started.
All right. Well, you look like you've gotten started a little bit.
I got a preliminary approval to jack out some walls and to, seal that up to keep it
Gotcha.
from flooding the basement.
Gotcha. Don?
I issued a letter on the 17th, with the same exact waivers for the dust addition. We had 2 small comments on the preliminary plat. We never received a final plat from his surveyor.
Well, that's not good.
Then you can't act on it.
We requested one, but Glenn never sent me one. You saw my email, and he never responded to it, so.
Do you have anything, Mr. Thorne, from Glenn?
Yeah, I got it on my phone. And Jill should have it too.
Primary and final? I
Yeah.
think he just sent preliminary.
Yeah.
Oh, this is marked primary plat.
Well,
In our
primary
Yeah,
is,
primary.
primary is preliminary. There's no secondary plat.
So it should say final, you're saying?
No,
Final.
we only have preliminary,
Oh, I gotcha.
preliminary and primary,
Okay.
same thing.
We don't have what, the final? John? We don't have the final.
The final plat.
Don never saw the final plat.
Yeah, just never received it.
But we can move forward on the preliminary.
Preliminary, yeah. Those are 2 minor
Can
comments.
can the person pull permits on preliminary?
Yes.
Okay. We don't wanna
You
slow
said-
the man down.
He just has
We-
to come back, and-
We can't move on the final.
which, I mean, it's ministerial at that point.
Yeah,
I mean, the only reason we're doing it is so he doesn't have to come back to the next meeting.
right,
So it's not the end of the world.
correct.
It's not, but building permits, no. Earth movement, yes. There's not a lot of record yet,
No.
until the final plat is approved.
So we can act on the preliminary plat,
You can.
but we cannot act on the final plat until it shows up.
Yeah, do you
Nor
know,
can you get a building
can you look
permit.
in your phone for the final plat, sir?
See if it says final.
One second, I might be able to pull it up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter even if you approve the final plat at this meeting, you still have to wait 30 days, so it's not even a lot of record until the 30 days out.
Right, he just has to come back to
He
another
just has
meeting.
to come back to another meeting.
Right,
I mean,
The net effect of it is the same.
true.
So primary plat tonight would be appropriate to consider. Next month, final.
I mean, if it's that, if he turns it over, we don't have any problems with it. I don't even, Mr. Thorne, doesn't have to come, I don't think.
Right. Well,
It's not a public hearing.
Well.
Legally, it needs to be a
Petitioner
public
should be
hearing.
here before the board.
I know, I'm just saying.
Doesn't have, it has to be a public hearing, yeah.
Yeah.
It was his surveyor who didn't get the work over here.
True.
Not your fault.
True.
Oh, I got that thing on here somewhere here.
Well,
Sounds like me.
let me move along here on the, preliminary plat. Have a seat real quick, Mr. Thorne, if you would. Are there any remonstrators for or against this request? Anyone? Any remonstrators for or against? Going once, going twice. Okay. Building department comments?
As you know, this is a unrecorded subdivision, Lake County subdivision. The improvements you wanted to do triggered a one-lot subdivision.
Okay.
It's recommended you
Yeah.
approve the waivers as recommended by your engineer.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the waivers that are being requested?
No, sir.
No.
A
No,
through-
sir.
A through E, okay. Mr. Becker, any questions?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Austin, we can act on the preliminary plat. However, until Mr. Oliphant has seen the final plat, it,
Correct,
remains deferred.
correct. You wanna act on the waivers first, just as you did with Dust, and then the primary plat, and continue to next month
Okay.
for the final.
All right, would anyone like to make a motion? Anybody have any other questions? Anyone?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion, regarding the A through E waivers?
I'd like to make a motion, on the waivers for the Thorn preliminary plat as marked up on document from Christopher Burke Engineering, May 5th, 2021. Item number 1, letters A through E,
We have a
for
motion.
approval.
We have a motion by Mr. Foreman. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Dessauer. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan,
Yes.
John Foreman,
Yes.
Richard Sharp,
Yes.
Heather Dessauer. Yes. Chuck Becker,
Yes.
John Capora,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries. That's the waivers.
There was a May 5th letter with the waivers that is identical to the May
Okay.
17th
17th.
letter.
Okay,
Yeah, the electronic copy's May 5.
okay.
There's one front.
Okay,
There's another one in there too.
that's the same.
Okay.
They're both,
Okay,
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
both of them.
here too.
Thank you.
you good, John?
Yep.
All right, regarding the petitioner's request for a preliminary plat for a one-lot subdivision, would anyone like to make a motion on that item?
I too would like to make a motion to approve the preliminary plat for the one-lot subdivision, again, with acknowledging the letter dated May 5th and May 17th.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Foreman. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sharp. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan.
Yes.
John Foreman,
Yes.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
Heather Dessauer. Yes. Chuck Becker,
Yes.
John Capora,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries. Does Mr. Thorne need to request the deferral for this item, or are we just deferring it to
No,
4
you
weeks
can
from
just-
now?
You can just defer it, it's in the path of progress now on the subdivision plat.
Okay. Do we need a motion for that?
You don't?
Okay. Regarding item 4, section B, the final plat for one lot subdivision, will be deferred till, the next public meeting.
It's actually not deferred, it's just moved to that agenda because it's not ready tonight.
It'll be on your June 16th agenda.
Okay.
The next public meeting?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any questions?
Not so far, I can't find what I'm looking for, so.
I wish you could, but until Don looks at it,
I think I've
a
got.
few minutes isn't gonna make any
I think
difference.
I've got it on a piece of paper at home, but I thought I had it on my phone, so.
Well, the sooner Don gets it,
And I
the sooner
think
he can look
you'll
at it.
Acknowledge getting it,
I got primary, I don't know that I got final.
because Glenn had sent over with the revisions that you wanted the R2 on each side and the drainage way on 734.
Do you wanna check your email, Joe? You have your laptop here?
And he had it outlined in red.
Don didn't get it, then it doesn't make
The
much difference.
30 days is actually the 18th of June anyways, so
We're still within the 30 days
just,
statutorily.
so,
It's not delaying you any, sir.
Have-
We were just
Yeah.
trying to do both tonight. Normally, we do the preliminary, and then the person comes back the next month, so you're able to still move forward.
Yeah, I've only been going through this since February, so,
It's frustrating. I totally, completely
Too cold to dig in
understand.
February.
yeah. Yeah, so, I guess I'll shut up before I get myself in trouble here.
Well, we're trying to get better at people walking into that counter. We now have Jill working full-time to
Well,
help with our town manager.
She's been a tremendous help. I don't have any objections with
It's,
Jill.
we're just overwhelmed at the moment with these new old requests.
Okay.
So
Not a problem. I
apologize
just
about the
never
6-month wait.
understood a one-lot subdivision when you already have a house there in a subdivision, even though it was non-recorded.
Well, it wasn't really a
That's-
subdivision
That's the
then.
thing I don't understand, so. But, that's the way it works,
Just,
Yeah.
that's the way we work.
this is Lake County, Indiana.
Welcome to Lake County.
Thank you,
It's
Mr. Thorne. Yes,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Austin?
Yeah,
Don't forget, he had a professional working for him,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
who's been in front of us once or twice
yeah.
yeah,
over the decades,
yeah.
so.
It's probably just a small oversight.
Yeah.
Didn't hit send.
Well, I think that what, I always still say, a person buys a house, it's not a platted lot of record. It's very confusing to people.
Well, this one's even more unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an unrecorded subdivision that used to be in the county and, this one's
Somehow
really
that past transfer and closing of a sale with title work showing it to be free and clear and good. So it might be a meets and bounds, but it's still a good legal description. That's why people close.
Gotcha.
But for improvements, of course you want them to follow your rules and requirements.
Sure.
Those are the triggers.
And when there are waivers
Yep.
like this, it should have been shorter. He has a professional working for him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm certainly glad he's undertaken that project because,
Is it a bad house that needed fixed up or what?
yeah,
it's only a little
it's
leaky.
a major improvement.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, major improvement.
Sounded a little leaky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I keep trying
You
to
keep the
picture it.
water warm, you might have been able to keep gators in the basement. Okay. See, item 5, resolution number 2021, Plan Commission Rules and Regulations.
This isn't ready.
This is not ready, okay? All right. Then I guess, could you, make sure this is on next time?
I will.
Okay. Some update items. Anybody up there has any questions? Item number 1, Cedar Lake Ministries. We have a packet with a lot of writing on it, a lot of corrections, legal description, lots of notes. I would encourage everybody to look over this. This was reviewed by legal.
If I may?
Yes.
In the packet that was distributed to you, the unmarked copy is the one that I distributed
big packet.
to you, May 10th. May 10th, I provided, Nate Peterson at Cedar Lake Ministries with some marked up copies, and David Austin provided us today with his marked up copies. Those are the ones that are red.
Okay.
Or in red, okay, okay.
So, Mr. Austin, you have to review the copies, the marked up copies that you didn't review already.
Well, I've reviewed copies from Jill Murr,
Okay.
marked, and my own.
All right.
I don't have any others, but I would also note that that was a first read, and I think there's a foundational meeting needed at some point pretty soon to figure out the starting place,
Okay.
legal descriptions, parcels, clarity.
So
Okay.
are we back waiting on them now then?
No, not yet. They need to get this.
Nate's online
They
if
should
you want
have
to talk
these
to him.
comments.
Right. so
Hey
we'll
guys, I'm here.
Verify then.
Well, they just got them, or maybe they didn't.
So the,
Gary, the
Yeah.
petitioner's online.
I got about, hang on.
Right.
Uh,
And I'm thinking we're gonna meet
Real,
or talk.
real quick, I didn't want to turn this into a, Mr. Peterson, you're online?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you have Mr. Austin's, first read and corrections?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It
and I also have Jill. Jill had some, comments as well. Don and I are meeting on Friday, out at the property to walk it, to discuss drainage items, that would need to be incorporated. The last thing I guess I would ask for is, if the planning commission members have any comments, if they could funnel those back through Jill, so we can kind of, hit the thing with kind of everybody's input and feedback at once.
Okay.
That's all.
Yep, that's a fair request. I think, the stormwater had been discussed off and on the record, off the record a little bit, so I'm going to be looking forward to Don's summary on this walk around.
Yeah, and we'll look at the PUD documents a little more after Nate and I meet. Rick's coming out too,
Okay,
so a little
Right.
more feedback after that.
okay, any other questions, Mr. Peterson?
No, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Item number 2, CLBD South LLC rezone preliminary plat and site plan. This is the property, along 41.
Correct.
Just south of,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's right. On the east side of 41, is that, moving along okay? That
That is, late this afternoon, you received from Attorney Bauer the development plan, agreement. We are refining the list of uses.
yeah, that
And
was
those
an interesting list of uses.
Yeah, so we've had discussion and those are being refined, but there were documents just distributed late this afternoon, so
Okay.
I would anticipate David didn't have a chance to review them yet,
Okay.
nor have I.
Don, only because you're the only engineer here, this is a Neil question, but, the water, the way it's gonna be formatted in there for the buildings and future, that's all good? That's, we're not...
As far as I know, I mean, they're bringing the main off 141st for it, so 12-inch main, I think. It's
Okay.
kind of built for expansion, so
Okay, and it's,
as far as I know,
so the complex won't have any water issues of any kind?
I don't believe so.
Shouldn't? Okay. That was well, the distribution was, somebody raised that question to me about,
As far as I know, west side water is
So-
fine.
okay. All right, anybody have any questions? Mr. Becker, any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Item number 3, Hen 13424 Wicker Avenue. This concept plan will be in front of us in 2 weeks, I believe. This is for an expansion of the
Garage?
all-tire business.
Correct.
So,
At your last BZA meeting, they approved lot width. That was one of the items that, without lot width, they wouldn't need to come in front of the plan commission. It's anticipated to bring this to your work session on June 2nd with your public hearing on June 16th.
okay. There were some waivers with this. When you get a chance, would you send those to all of us? So we have a chance to look at the property and
Items A through E again?
No, shorter list.
Oh, shorter list.
Shorter list.
Okay.
A shorter list.
I'm good at that one.
So, okay, anybody have any questions about that?
No.
No? Right. Item 4, zoning ordinance amendment.
That item will continue at your next work session. As a reminder, we'll meet at 6 p.m. for your next work session, so from 6 to 6:50, 6:55, we'll continue those discussions and
No,
pick up where we
6:59.
left off. 6:51, okay.
59. Okay. All right, we'll continue that in 2 weeks at 6 p.m. Thank you, Jill. Item 5, comprehensive plan amendment.
So this is an item, Jerry, I know you've been to some of the meetings, Rick, you have. The town council and plan commission are updating our comprehensive plan. It's anticipated right now that public hearing will be June 30th at 6 p.m. Just wanted to get that on your radar, that will be coming to you. That evening will be a joint meeting. You will have your public hearing on the comprehensive plan amendment, and town council will ultimately have their public meeting in anticipation of approving that amendment. This is a section of the US 41 corridor. Veritas is working on that with town and the steering committee, so.
Has the submittals from Lauren from Veritas, has anybody looked at those in, professional minded? Have you looked at any of that, Don?
Nope.
Nothing?
Steve.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, and,
there was a
you're,
teleconference today, and it was reviewed today. There will be, updates in 1 week.
okay,
So
Okay,
for
all right,
circulation
good.
to the steering committee.
okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Dave, yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, some deferred items, Birchwood Farms Phase 3, final plat, and Centennial Villas Phase 1, final plat. These were items that were deferred, and we should see those,
You should anticipate those, I believe, on your next work session and public meeting.
okay. Was there anything,
That was at the request of your petitioner at your, May work session, that we wanted to continue those to June, so.
okay,
They're still installing quite a bit of infrastructure,
okay,
On
so
both.
that's time.
so they wanna,
Productivity is a little
they
slow.
wanna get stuff in the ground, inspected, reduce the letter of credit.
Okay, all right. I guess, any public comment? Anyone? Any of the public need?
No one online?
No one online? Yep.
I don't think so.
No one, okay. All right, Mr. Becker, are you good?
I'm good.
All right, everybody else,
You set a record tonight, Jerry.
All good. Well,
Proud of
let's
you.
get done, dude.
No,
Let's
no,
get done before you
yeah.
say that.
Here, in case he slows it down again. In case he slows it down again.
Sorry, Heather.
Okay,
Mr. President, if
Yes.
anyone can't make that June 30th meeting, if you could please confirm with Margaret, so that way she can make sure we have a quorum of people attending,
okay,
knowing we're rolling into the end of the month and it's an off meeting week, wanted to make sure it gets on everyone's calendar.
Do we need to resend an email if we did already?
No, I've got yours, I
Okay.
know you're available.
she was first, wasn't she? She was, she was.
She's a girl.
Okay,
I'll confirm, I'll be there.
He'll be there? Okay, I'll mark
what if you're mowing grass?
Got a weed whack.
Okay. For 2 days, okay. I'm gonna call this meeting adjourned.
Jerry's got a record.